back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Cris Cyborg is reacting to longtime rival Ronda Rousey joining the WWE, and she's saying that she hasn't overcame her losses in MMA yet. Now this is pretty interesting, but I'll give you my thoughts after I read what Cris Cyborg had to say. Cris Cyborg said, "I believe that she'll be happy in the WWE, and it's completely different from the reality of MMA. For an example, wins and losses are decided before the shows. I think it's normal." She said that in reality, we can only talk about things that we already overcame in our minds. She hasn't overcame her MMA losses yet, even in another stage of her career. Sometimes people need professional help to get over it. And now this is interesting because you might think this is a long-time rival. Her and Ronda Rousey's fight never materialized, and Cris Cyborg has every reason to be taking shots at Ronda Rousey, but she's actually making good points here. She might not be taking shots when she says that, it's completely different from the reality of MMA and she hasn't escaped her wins and losses yet. It actually, is somewhat true, because if you watched Ronda Rousey's interview where she was asked about her Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm losses, she actually shed a tear. Now, that's interesting. Of course, we've seen Ronda Rousey go into acting school on top of the WWE. So at this point, anytime you see Ronda Rousey crying on camera, you don't know what the hell to believe. I mean, I've seen Ronda Rousey and doing some crazy, on social media acting stuff, where they get a fucking bouncy ball and pretend to be unicorns and they rock side to side "Ooh, now you're sad. Now you're an angry cheetah. Ooh, ooh." That type of shit. I've seen Ronda Rousey practicing that type of shit, so it wouldn't be too hard for her to, cue up a tear on camera. So whenever I watched that, that's the first thought that popped in my head. The reporter was like, "So, your last 2 losses in MMA," and Ronda Rousey was just like, "I'd rather not talk about that. Next question." And so, I mean, with that being said, it is what it is. It's just with Ronda Rousey transitioning to the full entertainment aspect of combat sports, the WWE, and even acting in Hollywood, it's just hard to know what you're seeing when she's on screen. So with that being said, Cris Cyborg, though, was a longtime Ronda Rousey rival in MMA. A lot of people wanted to see that fight happen. Cris Cyborg was the hardcore fan and the underground fans. Everybody proclaimed Cris Cyborg greatest female fighter of all time. But the casual fans and there was a lot of other people that were naming Ronda Rousey as the WMMA queen. While meanwhile everyone else knew that if Cris Cyborg and Ronda Rousey were to ever get in an octagon, Cris Cyborg would probably put a beat down on Ronda Rousey as a la Amanda Holmes, or even worse, because Cris Cyborg is 145 pounds. So with all that being said, they were longtime rivals, and there's even been talk about a fight between Cyborg and Ronda Rousey in MMA. That brings up another interesting topic. Edmond Tarverdyan. If you recall, maybe a month ago or less, Edmond Tarverdyan was saying, "The fight that I still want to see Ronda Rousey fight, if she fights one more fight in MMA, I want to see Rousey versus Cyborg." And we were all like, "Well, what the fuck? Why would you want to see Rousey versus Cyborg? You're her coach, bro. You don't want to see. We know what's going to happen in that fight. You probably know what might happen in that fight, so why are you pushing for it?" So that made me think, does Edmond not getting a cut of this fucking WWE money as Ronda Rousey's manager? I'm not going to tune in, but I want one of you guys. I'm definitely not tuning in. But somebody tell me, does Edmond walk out with Ronda to the ring like fucking the pallbearer and the Undertaker? "Oh yeah, fucking Ronda, fucking," just coming out shaking this? Alright, you get the point. All jokes aside, Cris Cyborg has reacted to Ronda Rousey joining the WWE. She hasn't overcame her MMA losses yet, is what she's saying. And that may be true, especially if you saw the interview with Ronda Rousey. But at the same time, she could have overcame her MMA losses, as a grown-ass woman, as an Olympic, former judo Olympian. I'm sure Ronda Rousey can overcome a loss. Of course, at the top level, as you see with Daniel Cormier, losses always hurt. But I just think that Ronda Rousey might see the brighter future in the WWE. Not a lot of fighters have the opportunity to go make millions of dollars and not really have to risk everything every time you're in the octagon. As a fighter, yes, you do want to make millions of dollars and all the glory that you can get if you were in the WWE. The difference is you actually have to go out there and earn it. There ain't no fucking somebody writing a big grand scheme of how you're going to fucking flying armbar somebody from the 3rd turnbuckle and then the referee's going to quick tap. There's just a lot of reality taken away in the WWE that's not in the MMA, which makes MMA obviously riskier and all of this other shit. So with that being said, Cris Cyborg and all of, I mean, and you can think, I'll go here just because, I mean, do you think there's any jealousy in this? Do you think there's a lot of fighters that are like, oh, so we're going to be over here actually getting punched in the face and, you know, putting everything on the line while she just gets to go armbar people in front of me? But at the same time, Ronda Rousey has did so much for women's MMA. Even if these, you know, somebody might be a little jealous and be a little salty, throw a little shade on Ronda Rousey for going to the WWE, Ronda Rousey still paved the way for a lot of these chicks. So with that being said, it is what it is. Cris Cyborg is saying Ronda Rousey hasn't overcame her losses yet. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.